Peace. I'm Rami Salaam, and this is my Fez-timonial. So my awakening happened October 28th, 2011. I was in the Occupy rallies. I used to go out there, listen in to the meetings, observe, check out the speakers, and understand what was going on, and just soaking in all the knowledge and information that was happening out here. Um, and so I'm jumping in and out of conversations, and I turn around, and it's this guy standing right there, and he says, "Do you want to know what's going on with everything?" I said, "Sure." And at this time, I started to question my own thoughts and beliefs and opinions on things. So, the people I used to think were crazy, yelling out stuff in the streets, or got weird signs, or different looking clothes, and always talking about some sort of conspiracy theory. I started to really listen, as opposed to just dismissing them. And so when this guy came up to me, I said, "Well, let me hear what this brother got to say." And he started breaking down the Freemasonry symbols that was going on with City Hall, and talking about the eagle, and just breaking all of that knowledge and information down. And I was somewhat familiar, but at that time my focus was on what was going on in the world, and 9/11, and Israel, and what's a Zionist, and Palestine, and general strikes, and all sorts of stuff. But he got my attention when he said, "You know what? Have you ever heard about the Moors? These Africans that ruled Spain for 700 years?" And I said, "Nah, I never heard of them." And he said, "Yeah." He said, "You need to go look them up." And so I sent myself an email, and that's how I know, that my awakening, if you will, started on October 28th, 2011. And I sent myself an email, and I said, "I'll check it out." We chopped it up a little bit more, and before we parted ways, I was telling him that I always feel that everything happens for a reason, and I felt like it was a particular reason why I met that brother that day. And he said, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah, maybe I'm your guardian angel," or something like that, and smiled. But he said it so casual, I didn't think anything of it. Um, and so we say peace or whatever. I sent a text message. I look back up, and my man is gone, vanished. And we're in an open field. This is like City Hall, right in front of City Hall, Oscar Grant Plaza. Um, and that guy, we're standing in the center by the grass, no more than 10 seconds, and he was out of there. But never mind that. That's for something else. So the next day at work, I hit the Google, Moors, Wikipedia, bam, and my mind was blown. I sat in my chair for like 30 minutes, just saying, "What the because my whole life, a little bit about myself. I've always been pretty good with academics, and my family always encouraged me in school. So I was always told I was smart and intelligent, blah 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 blah. So to learn about this, this huge culture in Spain, never mind what it led to. But just to learn about that, and to learn I never heard of it, I was like, what do I know, really? I started hating, mad at these student loans I got, Peace to Sally Mae. Well, I got, but that's another matter. Anyways, let me keep going. So I start to do the research, and stumble onto a guy named Noble Drew Ali. And I say, whoa. I say, this is very interesting, because nobody's talking about this guy. We talk about Malcolm and Martin and Elijah and Farrakhan and Marcus Garvey, and everybody. You run down a list. But why won't anyone speak about some guy, this prophet guy, named Noble Drew Ali? The more I began to read, the more I started to put the pieces together. And when I first read the Quran, when I first found out about the Quran, I got it in the mail. I read it online, but I had to order it. Shout out to rvbaypublications.com. Please support. I got the book, and I sat in my bathroom, for maybe 3.5, 4 hours, just reading. And it was the missing piece. Once I read that, I started reading the Bible, more than I ever read it. And that's not much to say, unfortunately, because now I got to catch up. But it made the Bible make sense. It made, the information adjust the perspective. And I started to begin to truly see and truly understand or overstand and understand what's going on. But I'm going to be truthful. In learning this information, it's a bit painful, because I started to realize truly, how much we've been suffering due to a lack of knowledge, due to a lack of information. Just somebody, if we just knew the truth, it will make us free. A wise man said that, I believe. But nah, it really bothers, it bothers me that many of our people, our sisters and brothers, out here doing the worst of things. Well, we don't have to, but we're not supposed to. We're here for something, much more important. We're truly special, and we're the only ones that don't really see it. That's what hurts. And so, when I started learning this information, a little bit backstory, just any information I would get, I was always telling my family, emails, my partners and friends, and Facebook and Twitter, and the whole nine. We gotta wake up. Fluoride and chemtrails and 9/11 and da-da-da-da-da and nukes and this and that, and and so when I finally got to this information, I said, this is it. This is it, y'all. All we gotta do, proclaim our nationality, and it's on and popping. We going to Dubai, and we going to, I can already see it. I'm thinking, boom, I hit them with the information, light bulb comes on, we moving. In a couple of weeks, we 100,000, month or two, the whole nation's back, and we making it happen. We're stubborn people. We are a stubborn people, man. I love us. I love our people, but we stubborn as, you feel me? And so, it's frustrating, especially because I went to college, and studied communication. So I understand how to frame things and, how to listen constructively and, try to weave my points in and blah, 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 blah. All of that techniques or whatever, it doesn't matter. Because if you're not trying to hear it, you're not trying to hear it. It's as simple as that. It's really just that simple. And, that's what I realized with this information. I can't sell it. I can't sell you this. It doesn't work like that. That's the magical part. A lot like the Alchemist book. Will Smith, peace. I saw an interview with him with Tavis Smiley, and it took me a year and a half. But once I got it, I got it. Yeah, so I'm thinking my people's gonna get it. They not trying to hear it. They not trying to entertain it. And that's frustrating me, you know. And it's frustrating, one, just because, I was always known for being pretty bright, intelligent, getting good grades, study communication in college. So, not being able to communicate this information effectively is driving me crazy. On top of the fact that I'm still having to live this other, this U.S. citizen life, as I'm also trying to regain, and uplift, our Morris nation. It's just really, it was really trying, really tough time. And then I lost a good friend of mine. We lost Brother El Hajj Malcolm El Shabazz in 2013. Still very unclear on what happened. But when I attended his funeral, when I was in there, the security were wearing fezzes, and the brother hosting the services, he was wearing a fez, and he was referring to us as Moors, and nobody seemed to budge. Nobody was seeming puzzled or seeming shocked, and that blew my mind. That confirmation at that moment was, a lot to handle, and it made me begin to reflect, and just evaluate my dedication to our people, to being true, just standing on principles. And here it is, brother that had a rough time, living, just living under some really difficult times, and was still striving on, to the point that he gave his life. So, looking at myself, I just really felt like I wasn't doing everything I could. And so in June, I caught a flight to Egypt. I was going to see the pyramids, and end my time on this earth, with the idea that situation would not only wake up our brothers and sisters in Egypt, but it would also wake up all our people here in northwestern Mexico, or North America, and just create a chain reaction that just begins to wake up everyone, because it's key. I know, it's dramatic in hindsight, but at the time I just was really feeling like I needed to do everything I can to wake people up as quickly as possible. We need to wake up. So I bounced. Didn't tell anybody. Didn't plan anything. Don't know Arabic. Didn't reserve a hotel. Don't have anyone I knew or know in Cairo or Egypt. I just wanted to go see the pyramids. So I end up in Zurich on a layover for like 14 hours, something crazy. And I'm chilling in the airport, just wandering around, reading about the Bible, Quran, both Qurans. And I bump into this Sudanese brother who's coming from the UK, who needed help logging onto the internet. So I, helped him out real quick. That was just cool because I hadn't spoke to anyone, that whole time I'd been traveling. So, almost a day. Um, so I get on the flight to Egypt. We land in Cairo, and the pyramids. And so I hop on the flight from Zurich to Cairo, and as we're getting ready to land, I can see the pyramids, and I remember just feeling like something is different. When on my way there, I was, once I was on the flight to Cairo, I was like, well, there's no turning back. And I still felt that way, but I remember saying to myself in the airplane, this is different. Those pyramids were amazing. And so we land, and my world gets rocked because no signs in English. There's no real directions. I don't know who's working in the airport and who has on a badge just hustling. Everybody is like a whole bunch of brothers driving cabs. Some of them are official, some of them aren't. And I'm just feeling like, man, I'm finna get played. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what's going on. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, God is going, I'm walking with it. So, show me the way. And I look up, and it's the Sudanese brother chilling in the lobby with his lady, getting some coffee. So I said, all right, I'm about to just see what's happening. I said, yo, can you help me with a ride? I'm trying to get into Cairo and get a room. He's like, yeah, no problem. You can roll with me. Da 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 da. So now we rolling, and we're rolling through, and there's no traffic regulations, so it's like everybody just mobbing, just no rules, no nothing. A lot of horns, and we riding through these back streets of these huge project-looking apartment buildings, but just worn down in comparison to what we would see here in Northwest Mexico. And we end up staying at this spot, man, called Cairo City Center or something like that. Wow spot, man. And it turns out I was like 5 minutes away from Tahrir Square. I didn't even know at the time. At this point, my cell phone is all the way dead. The laptop I had is all the way dead. I don't have any charges. I don't know what's what. I'm just really just going on faith right now. So we get dropped off, and the Sudanese brother, and I forget his name, and I really apologize. Hope he sees this and can reach out to me. But I end up rooming with the Sudanese brother. Like, hey man, let's get the room together, because he was staying out there for a couple nights. And I didn't really explain. I didn't explain to him why I was there. Just said I was there studying. So we get a room, go walk around, grab a bite to eat, and that's when I start seeing signs of love, just everywhere. Just love. Love with like a mother and her daughter, a little son, and the dad, I'm seeing just images and symbols, and just see it all around. You know, um, but I put it to the side. I'm on a mission, uh, and I end up being like a third wheel on a date later that evening with them. But they were speaking in another language, so it's really just like I was sitting at the table next to them. So I'm just chilling out outside. It's like 10, 11, and their mannerisms, the Sudanese brother and this lady, just reminded me exactly of my wife and I when we first started dating. And it was just like, oh man, it's too much. So I bounced back to the hotel and pass out. And I wake up around 3 o'clock. And I go outside on the ledge just to feel the breeze and to be real, just looking at different locations. And in that moment, Allah, God, Yahweh, Most High, Jesus, even though, I just, it was communicated that I was brought here for a particular reason, and it was to show me that I do have the choice, and that if I want to choose my way, that I can, but it won't lead to what I think, because nobody knows where I am, the location that I'm at. It wasn't too cool, so people weren't gonna. It wasn't gonna happen the way I thought it was to happen. And at the same time, also communicated to me that no matter how far I go, far away from home I think I may be, that love is always there, and it's always been there. It's always gonna be there. And that's when it started to click. I'm thousands of miles away from home. Nobody knows where I'm at, and I'm still seeing, love right in my face, reminding me of, my people back home. And I said, I get it. And I come back in, and a couple minutes later, the Sudanese brother comes back in the room. He's smiling ear to ear, like, oh man, I saw I got caught up with the time. I love my lady so much, and just glowing with love. So I can't help but I just laugh, man. Allah is the best with timing, Malcolm would always say. So he passes out. I pack up my stuff, and I'm like, I'm headed back home. It's like 4:35. No, not even that. About 4. So I go outside the hotel, walk about 10-15 feet. Cab comes around the corner, stops. Say, yo, man, you need a ride? Mind you, this is Cairo, Egypt. I hadn't heard anybody speaking English like that, all day. I say, yeah, man. I say, where you from? They say, I'm from Brooklyn. Peace to Muhammad. Amen. And I wore my Nas Life is Good shirt, and got all his monikers on the back, and it had God's son. And I said, this the power will be with me if anything. You know what I mean? So I unzipped the jacket and I show him the shirt. He like, oh man, come on in, man. You know what I mean? It's all love. He like, hop in the front, man. You family. Man. Only customers sit in the back. So now we riding through the streets of Egypt, and I'm just letting him know, why I'm there, and why I'm going back home. And he's just, he's dropping jewels on me. um, explaining about how, I'm doing more, and I'm being more faithful on the path than many people that were born in Egypt and born with the Quran and born knowing about Allah and Islam, and just dropping a lot of jewels and wisdom on me. So much love to you, brother. If you see this, much love to you. And so we're riding around Egypt, and he's showing me, amazing temples and these like burial homes. I'm not sure the correct terminology for it. Just amazing things there. Drops me off at the airport. I book a flight home. I got to go through Dubai. It's gonna take me a day. So I'm just trying to hurry up, get to the gate, so I can get on the flight and hurry up, start getting home. And the brother yells, "Yo, are you Hebrew?" And I look, and it's his brother, man. He has cornrows. Looked like he could have been somebody from around the corner in Oakland. True story. He's like, "Are you Hebrew?" And he noticed my tattoo, Hebrew for love. And I said, "Yeah." And he said, "Oh, brother, you gotta come sit down. Tell me what you're doing in Cairo." And so I start breaking down the story, pretty much what I'm telling you. And he's like, "Yo, he's like, you're a special brother. You gotta keep going, man. You're one of our prophets." And that really, and I don't say that in a stunting way, or like trying to claim something, because I don't feel I'm the prophet, or never felt that way. But it was just amazing because this is within hours of me just telling God, I'm gonna walk with love, and I'm gonna just be true, and and I'm gonna just walk on that, and go with you on this. And God said, "You do that, and it's all gravy." That's what was, that's what God showed me. And so, within 5 minutes of me telling this brother the story, and just being true, not knowing him from nothing, right? And he recognizes something in me that my people at home were not connecting to. It blew my mind. Much love to my brother Yota. It ended up he had the same flight as me. We had the same flight rather. So now we chopping it up the whole way, while we wait for the flight, get to Dubai. Like 10 hours, man, just building. And that brother was on a similar path. I don't want to tell his business, but just an amazing brother. So Yota, keep shining, brother. It's almost that time. It's rare. And so at this point, man, I'm realizing it's going to be a hell of a journey, when I get home. I got a lot of explaining to do, my job, my family, my friends, a whole lot of questions. I'm thinking I'm finna get fired, and, the whole nine. But I'm not even worried, because I know if I walk with love, it's all good. So I touched down, and I'm riding with my wife over in Oakland, and we stop at the light, and this brother asks for some change. So I give him a couple Federal Reserve notes, and I had this letter. Oh, excuse me, let me back up. The game my brother Yotam gave me was, he was saying that I was trying to do everything at once. I was trying to go super big at once, when that's the man upstairs job. That I don't need to just do everything at the snap of my finger. If I just start small, it'll grow big. And so when I seen the brother by the freeway, I said, well, let me try this. So I said, yo, I got this letter, I wrote. If you had some time, would you mind reading it? He's like, no problem. Hand him the letter, and it's like basically, I put together this letter to send out to politicians and activists, human rights groups, black leaders, just anybody, just giving them information about the Moors and Moorish Americans, Drew Ali, etc., etc. So he starts reading information, and he's like, yeah, the Moors. I remember studying this back in 1970, da-da-da-da-da. And he starts to spit out facts about, the Moors and the Moor Science Temple of America that's not even in the letter. And this is when I first get back. And, the whole time my wife is sitting on my side with the, I can't believe it face. You know what I'm saying? That where you catch them and it's nothing, you don't even have to say nothing. You don't even have to say, I told you so. You just give them that look like, right? And so it was just, alhamdulillah. It was just an amazing confirmation again. If I just stick to what I'm supposed to be doing, everything is going to work. So that's what I've been doing. That's why, I created this video today. It's not something that I have been particularly the most proud of. That moment in time is real difficult, still to deal with. But I also realized that there's someone out there that may be going through that same thing and may be reading this information and feeling like, am I crazy? Because everyone else is not getting this, and it seems simple. It seems like the solution, and yet everyone is cool with just doing the same thing. You're not crazy. It is. It is the solution. Nationality is the order of the day. I am Rami Salaam, Moorish American, Aboriginal, Indigenous to Northwestern Mexam, known in these days and times as North America. Well, all of the America. North, Central, and South, and the adjoining islands, and Atlantis, which is rising. Oh yeah. We are here. The time is always now.